And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this very special edition of Biz Talks, the very first one for 2020. My name is Fred Holmes. I'm an independent distributor with Zija International, and I'm privileged to be able to be hosting the very first of 52 upcoming broadcasts for 2020. And this is a really very special broadcast because this evening I'm going to have with me as my guest our number one income earner in the company, the top ranked distributor in the company, David Moses. And you're going to get a lot of information from him here in just a couple of minutes. But first, what I want to do is I want to welcome all of you who've taken a few minutes out of your evening to join us here. In particular, those of you that are invited guests, because this broadcast is really for you. I recognize a lot of our, tenured distributors have been with us for years, several of our brand new distributors, but in particular, tonight's broadcast is for those of you that are here to take a look. And, maybe a friend or a family member, coworker has introduced you to Zija. Maybe they've been talking about our products. Maybe you're one of our customers and you've been hearing the buzz about what's about to happen, the impending growth of this company. And I appreciate that you took the time to get your, some information. And the reason you're probably listening is, if you're like most people, you're looking for a way to create more income, have, more life style, if you will, or maybe, you're looking for a way to have more time freedom, more flexibility in your day-to-day schedule, or maybe just looking for more fun, more meaning in life. Most people are looking for one or more or both, all three of those things. And if that's what you're looking for, you're going to find yourself in really good company here, because the Zija International family, we're a wide range of people, different walks of life, different ages. We've got, people in their retirement years, people in their 60s and 70s like myself, who are maybe looking for a way to create a little additional income to make retirement more pleasant. You'll find young people, Generation X, the millennials, have gone to school for years, spent fortunes on education, only to find out that what they thought they were looking for wasn't really available in the workplace. And they're looking for a way to, have more meaning in their work, to create financial security, but do it under their own terms. You're going to find a lot of young families here looking for a way to create an additional secondary income stream so one of the parents can stay home and raise the kids. You're going to find people in their 40s and 50s that are looking for ways to fund college education. There's so many different types of people here and so many different reasons. You're going to be in good company with the folks that are already part of Zija International. And what we're going to do this evening, I'm going to share with you a little bit about the company and what we're doing, but I want you mostly to hear from somebody who's been in the industry for a very long time and has been able to develop this company, Zija International, at a very high level. When I first got involved in this industry, and this goes a long ways back, back in the mid 80s, I was a cross-country truck driver. I was desperately looking for a way to create, more income than a truck driver makes, because I had a special needs child, and I was going to be responsible for some very, very expensive specialized educational resources, but I was also looking for a way to create time freedom so I could be there with him as he was growing up. And, frankly, the only place I was able to find that was in the arena of network marketing, the home-based business, people-to-people marketing. And everything that was promised to me, I have to tell you, was fulfilled, and much, much more than I ever anticipated I would need. I was able to literally retire in 10 years and experience the kinds of things that, most people wait until their 60s and 70s to do. By the time I was in my mid-40s, I was already able to achieve those kinds of things. I came out of retirement for this company, and the advantage that I had was because of my experience, I knew what to look for. And I'm going to share three things with you real quick here before I bring David on. I looked first and foremost to the leadership of the company, the pedigree of the company. I guess this comes from something that, a phrase that stuck with me many, many years ago. The character of the kingdom emanates from the king. And I knew that if I was going to have a successful long-term venture, it was going to be based upon the integrity and the credibility of the people that run the company. This is a Ken Brailsford company. Ken Brailsford is the owner of Zija International. Ken has a history in this profession of health, wellness products, direct marketing companies that nobody can touch. He started his very first company back in the early 70s, Nature's Sunshine. Many of you may actually know that company. It's continued on now, close to 50 years it's been in business, over 45 years. It's done billions of dollars in sales. It's now a publicly held company. Ken went on in the 80s to start his second company, Zija International. Many of you will remember that company. Today it continues under the name of Unicity. Again, another one of 30 plus years that it's been in business, billions of dollars in sales. Nobody's ever been able to accomplish two giant companies in this profession like Ken Brailsford. And when I heard that Ken had come out of retirement to build his third company, frankly, to me, that was almost a guarantee of success. While I wasn't looking for another home-based business venture, I had to take a look at Zija simply because of who the ownership was. Now, leadership of the company is a critical ingredient to success. Equally important is the products. And see, a lot of people get involved in a company like this because they're enamored by products. Products are foundational to long-term success, but it takes more than just a good product to create a long-term company. When I looked at Zija, I saw the critical ingredients, the corporate leadership for longevity, but the products, of course, have to be at the foundation. And when we first started with the company, I joined the company, I was very young, about maybe 2.5 years old, I think, at that time. We had one product. It was the very first Moringa oleifera drink available to the marketplace. Nobody had ever heard of Moringa at that point in time. We became the world's leading #1 grower, harvester, importer, and developer of Moringa oleifera products. But at the time, we had one product. Over these years, we've developed a complete line of Moringa-based products. We have our nutritional drink products. We have natural energy products based on Moringa. Natural health, weight management products. Some brand new products in the weight management arena, ready to launch literally in 10 days. We've expanded into clinical grade essential oil line. We've expanded into healthy, natural sports nutrition products, natural personal care, hair care, and home care products. Over the years, we have developed the product distribution or diversity to a level that we really have products that every single person out there is looking for. Natural, green, clean, something that'll appeal to virtually anybody. And what's interesting is because of the quality of our products, our customer longevity is the envy of the industry. We have customers who have been using our products now for over a decade. And what's interesting is the longer people use our products, the more products they tend to use. They experience, maybe they started with our weight management products and moved on to our long-term nutritional products, and then our essential oils or sports nutrition, then the personal care products. It just seems that the longer people are experiencing the Zija International products, the more they want of different types of products. So those first two things, corporate leadership, right kinds of products, incredibly powerful part. But the third part and the third ingredient is why you're here this evening, and it's timing. When I first joined Zija International, and frankly, that was, the advantages. I knew what to look for, and it had one of the, two of the great things that you look for, but it did not have timing. Timing was not on our side. I knew it was going to take a long, long time to build and develop the company. But today, as we speak, we are at the forefront of what will be the largest growth curve within the history of this company for decades to come. And tonight, I can't really think of anybody that is better suited to share with you what's happening with Zija International and why today is such a great time to be part of what's going to be happening over the next 12, 24, 36 months. than our #1 income earner, David Moses. And David is in Israel right now, preparing for the launch of that country. Zija Israel is going to be launching here in just about a week, 10 days, something like that. So he's over there, and right now it would be 3:30 in the morning in Israel time. So I didn't ask David to get up at 3:30 in the morning. We recorded this earlier today, and so I'm going to bring David on live via recording. Let me get this set up here, and we'll hear from David Moses. Let me double check this here. One more time. I'm going to try again here. Let me get this right. I guess I'm not getting this right. Give me one more chance. And David, good to have you with us this evening. I know it's evening your time, and this is being done in advance. But great to see you. You having a good time on your holiday?
Well, it's kind of a working holiday, Fred, and it's one of the great things about what we do is we can do our holiday, but we can write a portion of it off because there is work going on, and of course that's the opening of Israel.
Yeah, I know that's coming up in just about 10 days or something?
A week this Friday.
Wow. So I was kind of teasing you a bit about taking a holiday because I know you're there getting everything ready for Israel. Well, David, what I wanted to do this evening is maybe get a little feel for yourself. I've already shared with everybody your background in terms of being our #1 earner, highest ranked person, leading the field of Zija for what now, 14 years maybe?
13 years. We'll be going on 14 shortly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe we can start out by, go way back. What was David Moses doing before the profession of network marketing? Why were you looking for a change?
All right. Well, first of all, Fred, as always, I just want to thank you for the leadership that you provide and all that you've done within this organization. And it's a funny thing. I used to study you a little bit. You didn't know it, but I was in another company back in December of '89, and then into the '90s. You had already been, a 7-figure earner, and I was brand new to the industry. And here we are, 30 years later, working in the same company. I love it. It's great. Well, yeah, I'm 56, and I know that we've got a lot of guests that are viewing this broadcast, and we have many of our distributors, some of whom are new, and you may not know me. So I always like to start with a little bit of my background. From Toronto, Canada, finished high school, ended up in the family business in the early '80s as a locksmith glazer, fixing windows, doing locks in the Canadian winter. Not the ideal thing to do if you're looking for lifestyle, time freedom, and financial independence, but that's how I started. And I later, in the mid-'80s, ended up in business with my brother in collectible car restoration. Some of you may have been on one of my Facebook pages, and you would see some of the cars that we restored back in the day. But, destiny would have it that I ended up parting ways with my brother. And at age 27, December of '89, I was, for the first time, on my own. I really didn't have, an education to fall back on or a profession. I didn't want to get back into the trades working with my hands. And I found myself at a network marketing meeting, or what we might call person-to-person marketing today. And for me, Fred, what I got was the idea that we could market a product, build a consumer base locally and nationally. And again, back then we didn't talk internationally, and we could earn a royalty income based on hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of people using a product that they're getting value from. So the idea being, instead of working for a 40-hour work week, which I had been accustomed to, one could now get paid on 40 hours, 100 hours, 1,000 hours a day or more of productivity. And so, J. Paul Getty said it best. He said, I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's success than 100% of my own. And that's what I got at that first meeting. That was, 30 years ago now. And it's been absolutely amazing. And, so kind of fast forward a little bit, Fred, I've been a distributor. I've been on the corporate side of our business as a VP of sales. I've been an owner. And I've been with this company, Zija International, now for coming up it'll be the 14th year this coming October. And it's been absolutely, what can I tell you? It's a dream come true. I believe that any and everybody who's watching this broadcast, given the opportunity to be with a product, with a company, with a system that would afford them time freedom, a check in the mail every single week, based on doing the work once but getting paid for the rest of your life, being able to provide your kids with the best education, family, and really just being financially secure. I'm a believer that everybody, absolutely everybody, would want that. So the question becomes, can people do it? Is there a company that they can believe in, a product that they can really get behind? And if you have those ingredients and you have someone to train you, to coach you, then I think everybody is a candidate and everybody would be willing to explore the possibilities, to come take a look. And so it's been like I said, 13 years, going on to 14. We have a few 100,000 people in the organization, but relatively speaking, we're a baby company. I mean, here I am in Israel preparing for the launch of this country, January the 10th, which is just coming up in a matter of days, January 10th, 2020, of course. And so, we're around the world. We're in Asia, we're in Europe, we're in Australia, we're in South Africa, we're in South America, Mexico, all over the US and Canada. And people can plug in from the comfort of their own home, using a smartphone. I mean, I'm talking to you from an Airbnb right now in Jerusalem. My phone is on a tripod and we're on Zoom, and we can build this business while on vacation, and we can build this business from our kitchen table. And we do it by marketing world-class, life-changing, life-enhancing products. One of my favorites right here, which I just had actually two of. So I'm on I'm on the regimen, and I'll be having a Prime. It's another one of our key products. And we have many, we've got many 5-star world-class products. And, once people start using them, they become fiercely loyal to them. They order and reorder every week, every month, year after year. And we get paid a royalty income on that, not just from the people that we introduce, but from the people that they introduce and so forth. And I think that is a far superior way to earn a living than commuting to a job building someone else's company. And so I teach people, as do you, how to get started on a part-time basis, create a part-time income, and then build towards a full-time income for those that are serious over the course of 6 months to 18 months or so. And that's a little bit of a snapshot.
I have a couple of questions for you, David, because when you joined Zija, You'd been in the industry for many years, as you said. You'd been, at the top ranks of other companies. You actually, had ownership in a couple of companies. What was it that you saw back then in Zija? Because I started when you'd only been in a few months. We had one product. We had small leased office space. It was pretty hard to see a big vision back then. What was it about Zija that got you to say, this is the place I need to be?
I get, to be honest with you, Fred, I focused for the most part on the owner of the company, that being Ken Brailsford, the Brailsford family. Ken and his family and his wife go way back to 1972 with a company called Nature's Sunshine Products, which started out of Utah, which is still in business today, 50 years later. 50 years. Seriously. It's a public company too. And, they've done billions on top of billions in sales in the health and wellness space. Natural products. And, they were in business marketing natural products before there was even an awareness for the benefits of natural products, right? Like back in the 70s, if you wore sandals and, there was like sort of one store in the middle of nowhere that only a few people knew about, right? You didn't have GNCs and it just wasn't mainstream. But he started that company. He was a co-founder, and he later founded another company called Enrich. And many of the executives from those companies went on to start many multi-billion-dollar companies that many people know today that are in the industry. So when I found out he was the founder of Zija, it's kind of like as close to a guarantee as you could have that you're going to be with a company that's going to be around forever. So you take that, and I knew that the products that this company would market, even though we only had one product when we started, but I knew that the future would hold, first-class, five-star products, which today we have a great cross-section of everything from personal care to essential oils, to a number of exotic products, weight loss products, products for energy, products for an active lifestyle. And so we cover everything. And as you know, we say, right, healthy shouldn't be hard, should be quite simple, actually. And you can simplify your life with plant-based solutions. And that's what we do here. And the beauty of it is everybody, absolutely everybody, everybody can relate. And so when you've got about 100% of the people that can relate, we're marketing a healthy coffee now that tastes great. And, you ask the question, right? Who do you know that drinks coffee and 100% of the hands go up, right? So we speak to everybody. We provide something for everybody. And I knew this was going to be a winner based on that vision way back in 2007 when I joined.
And you have a lot of people are introduced to companies that come and go. You've had such a tenure in the industry. You've seen companies go to $1 billion in sales and they're gone 7 years later. A lot of people talk about Zija. We've been here for quite a while. And the question comes up, what is different about Zija today versus when you got started? Because we always hear this, man, I wish I would have gotten started back when you did. Of course, I always say, no, you don't.
We don't.
Maybe we can speak for a moment. We got a couple of minutes left. Maybe we can speak for a moment to that person that's maybe been involved in the industry or has seen people involved in the industry. And why would you look at a Zija International today, now that it's been in business for 13, 14 years?
Hey, you know what? Listen, we're doing, we've done well over $1 billion in sales. We're doing about $100 million a year, something like that. We have deep roots, well-established company, very strong product line. very strong and loyal customer base. But from a global perspective, actually, you know what? You could take the state of California. From the state of the California perspective, we haven't even scratched the scratch yet. We haven't shown up on radar yet. We haven't reached the top of the runway, taxiing from the gate in terms of our potential. And so a person joining today can look at Zija International and say, you know what, here's a company that's not going anywhere. We got a 13-year track record. They've got a great cross-section of product. There's new countries opening. There's something for everybody. We're marketing commodity products like coffee, 500,000 cups consumed each and every day just in the United States alone, second largest commodity, recession-proof, right? Very, it's the best icebreaker you could ever have. Hey, Fred, you have time to go for a coffee, right, to talk about our business. And we have systems in place, training in place, coaching, and a brand new person can join, and we can show them a path on how to create a successful home-based business. And they can literally change the trajectory of their finances in 2020.
Well, David, I don't know if I could have said it any better than that. Really, today is the time. And for the people that want to make a difference, because we're starting a brand new decade, there'll be people like yourself, myself, and so many of the people we've worked with that well before the end of this decade, they will have set up the rest of their life from a financial perspective and make a lot of great friends like I've been able to work with you. I had also followed you in the industry before we actually had a chance to meet and get to work together. Well, David, listen, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you jumping on with us here from Israel. I hope you get a little R&R time as you're setting up for the launch of Israel here in just a few days. Thank you so much, David.
All right. Well, thank you. Take care.
All right. We'll see you soon. So there you have it, folks, live and direct from Israel by recording. I really, again, can't really say anything that David didn't already say. And what I want to do here in our last minute or two is maybe speak directly to those of you that were invited to take a look. If you have seen something here tonight that sounds interesting, if you're looking for a way to create some financial security, increase the level of income that's available to the family, looking for ways to put yourself in a position where you can control your life, the times that you work, where you work, how you work. If you're looking to do something more meaningful, more fun, then perhaps being part of the Zija International family might be a right fit for you. And so I'm going to ask you to do two things, okay? If you've heard something this evening that's interesting, get with the person that asked you to be part of this broadcast, or maybe they directed you to the recording of our broadcast on the YouTube channel. Get the answers to your questions. Do you want to learn more about, the marketing end, how we develop the team concept? What are available training programs for you? What's available to you in terms of upline support? The person that invited you to be here can share with you that information, put you in touch with other field leaders, people that have been able to create substantial levels of income in our profession and within Zija International. And if you're ready to get started, I'm going to recommend that you join us Saturday morning, 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Join us for our very first Saturday morning new distributor training of 2020. We are going to have some very, very special information, especially geared towards those of you that are ready to plant your flag and be part of what's going to happen with this company over the next 12, 24, and 36 months. So with that, one last shout out. Thank you, David. He's asleep right now, but thank you, David, for being part of this broadcast. Have a great rest of your evening, folks, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday morning for new distributor training. Take care.